if you remember, our first ever episode on KNA football was us reviewing the Baker Mayfield trade between my Cleveland Browns and Kadin's Carolina Panthers. That was the first episode we ever did, way before the 2022 season started. That was the first episode we did. So Kadin and I kind of found it fitting that the first episode that we would do for the 2023 season had to do with where quarterbacks would go. So in this episode, Kadin and I will be breaking down where we think all of the quarterbacks in the NFL will be. Who will be the starter for every NFL team in the 2023 season? We're a long way out. There's a lot of trades that still have to happen, a lot of signings that still have to happen. But, that's part of the fun. We could be way wrong. But, as I say every week, we are guaranteed to be 100% correct. Welcome to KNA Football. Kadin.
Austin.
We were discussing before the episode how we would kind of open, how we would start this little conversation time that we have before Debbie gets mad at us and forces us to actually do the episode, as we are slaves to the podcast and have to talk about football all the time.
Right.
And we had last week talked about our experience at Ponchos.
We did.
And how you have been converted to the Ponchos realm. You are now a huge fan of Ponchos and will go every week religiously.
No, but yeah, sure.
This week, we did not go to Ponchos. However, we went to Chipotle.
We did.
So, I looked at your order yesterday and I thought that it was a little bit weird because it wasn't my order. My order is, of course, the best order at Chipotle. So I'm kind of curious because I didn't pay that close of attention. What is your go-to Chipotle order?
Is this going to be a little segment now? We're going to start every episode off with the Kadin and Austin lunch.
Yeah, where we went to lunch the day before. Yeah.
Sure. My Chipotle order, is that what you asked?
Yeah, what's the go-to?
You got to go. Okay, so first, if you're alone, if it's just your family or you alone getting Chipotle, you get a burrito because a burrito is really good. All right. But it's a little messy at times. So when you're with your friends or any group of people that you care about making an impression about.
Right, you still want to keep that respect that they have for you, no matter how little. Yeah.
So whenever I'm with a group of people from church or friends, I get a bowl. But if I'm with my family or just me, burrito. And so you got to get steak, which is the best meat there by a mile. You got to get white rice.
Are you paying for this, Kate?
I am paying for this. It's not that expensive. It's what? $9?
$3 more.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Their chicken's not good though. You got to get white rice. You got to get steak. You got to get brown beans or pinto beans, whatever you want to call them. You got to get fajitas, the fajita veggies or whatever. You got to get cheese, obviously. Lettuce. The corn salsa, and then sour cream.
That is messed. That is a messed up order, man. That's a not good
Dude,
order.
yours is I looked at yours and it was red.
That was white. Literally my whole order. Okay, this is the order. This is the absolute.
Am I thinking of Margaret?
This is the absolute.
Someone's is red and it makes me really annoyed.
This is the absolute goated order.
Let him cook.
Okay. I go more often than not. I go with the bowl, even if I'm alone, like you said. Always with the bowl. Okay.
Never
as
burrito.
Austin tends to be.
Chicken.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, guys. Even though the chicken is fire, if they have the smoked brisket, which they had last year for a limited time,
yeah,
that is the protein to get at Chipotle. That was fantastic.
Unfortunately, I never had it.
Unfortunately, they don't carry it anymore. I don't know why Chipotle bring that back. So chicken, white rice, no beans. Okay, never get beans. Beans are
Chipotle listens to the podcast. It's true.
Beans are gross. It is true. It's
they'll
been
bring it back.
confirmed. Yeah. No beans because those are gross. Then you get
trash take
the fresh salsa, which is the red you would have seen. You get queso, cheese, and that's the order.
Queso and cheese? What?
Oh yeah, get the queso.
Ew,
and
I
the
don't
cheese.
like their queso that much.
I'll take.
And their guac.
Their guac is not that good. people like rave about their guac, and they're like, I've legitimately been in the building, okay, and they put up a sign on the door that's like, we're out of guac. I've seen people come to the door, read the sign, turn around and walk away.
That's terrible. I love their chips just plain. Is that crazy?
Their chips are
amazing
because they're just perfectly salted.
No, they were a lot better when they were like just lime or whatever.
Yeah,
like the lime chips.
yeah.
I'm mad that they took that away, but they're elite chips.
So good.
They're good chips.
I was really upset.
I spent
when we went and Margaret said that he didn't like their chips. And I was like, whoa, that is an L take right there.
Margaret, do you have anything to say about that?
Their chips are not good.
Dang.
Wow. Dang.
Oh.
Stand
Sad
by that, I
takes.
guess.
I'll
Full
have to catch
judgment.
my
I am
podcast.
judging you.
Full judgment, man. All right. So now that
Comment where we should go eat next week.
that's a good idea. Tell us where we should eat next week, and we'll comment about their food and Caden's L orders. So now that Debbie is forcing us to get into the episode and saying, stop talking about things that aren't football. Only football matters. We went ahead and, like I said, went through all of the NFL teams. We didn't tell each other who our picks were,
Nope.
But we are predicting who we think will be the starting quarterback for all 32 NFL franchises in 2023. So I'm kind of excited to see what you have.
Oh, I'm really excited. And these graphics, like we do every week. Shut up, Debbie. Every week we got graphics. Normally worked on very hard by our own Debbie. Spent hours on, all the time. They're nice graphics. They're not elite, but they're good. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. Not really. I was kind of forced to by Debbie, but I decided. No, I didn't decide. Debbie decided that I will make these graphics. So yes, I don't know how to use.
Debbie said you won't get paid this month if you don't make the graphics.
I don't get paid no matter what. Whatever.
You don't get paid.
So I made these graphics, and it took me a long time. It took me a good, I don't know, hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. So I spent a lot of time. I think these graphics look impeccable. I think they look great.
I can't wait for them to be absolutely broken.
Dude, no.
I want,
if they are broken, then that means Debbie did something, because I looked and these were amazing.
I want one of the slides to be cursed. I want it to be like inverted, like colors are inverted. I want everything to be pixelated. I want it to be bad.
Dude, I spent a good amount of time. I put my AirPods in, I jammed out, I cranked it out. So hopefully it turns out like how I thought. It was also late at night, so I might have been a little tired. We might see one thing just way off to the left, uncentered. It's okay.
All right, let's jump into it then. So, who's the first franchise that we have?
We got the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. Well, as you can see if you're watching, but if you're listening, I'll go ahead and tell you. For the Detroit Lions, Caden and I both have Jared Goff, and I don't think that's really a surprise to many people. The Lions went into this last year. I think most people thinking that Jared Goff was kind of the bridge quarterback. That's what we had said last week as well. That Jared Goff, in many people's minds, was the bridge guy that was like, okay, we're going to bring in this guy for a short amount of time, and then we'll eventually sign a bigger name, draft a bigger name, whatever. But Jared Goff's the fix for now. And he actually performed very well. They had one of the most high-powered, high-scoring offenses in the league. Unfortunately, they had literally the worst defense.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about Jared Goff, because going into the year, like you said, everyone's just like, oh, he's the bridge guy. He was pretty good with the Rams a couple of years ago, but now he's kind of just the guy. Like they're clearly building their team. They're going to just wait and eventually draft a QB. People assume that this upcoming season is when they're going to draft their QB. And then, like you said, he performed really good. And it's like, he wasn't elite, but he was really good. He sustained them to a really, really good offense and almost got them to the playoffs. So if you're the Lions, I mean, you have no reason to move him and get a new quarterback. I mean, he was nowhere near the problem this year. You guys almost got to the playoffs. I mean, he was a great quarterback.
Right. Your defense was the problem. So that's what they'll probably spend the majority of the offseason working on, is signing and drafting.
And then if you have a season and you think the rest of your team's good and you still could improve, then go get a rookie quarterback. He'll be in a perfect situation then.
Yeah.
But for this season, definitely I think Jared Goff, for sure.
I agree. All right, next team here is the Chicago Bears.
Oh.
Of course, we both have...
Of course. This one, you think it would be of course. Right.
You would think, yeah. We both have Justin Fields. For us, this was kind of a no-brainer. We both think that Justin Fields is a very good quarterback, despite what some may say about his throwing abilities.
Haters.
I think that he just didn't have receivers like literally just go look at that roster and tell me who he was throwing to. Chase Claypool was the biggest name on that receiving core, and he like didn't even play. So for us, this was no-brainers. A lot of people were saying that the Bears, with the number 1 overall pick, would draft Bryce Young and they would trade Justin Fields.
Really stupid.
Very idiotic. Whoever said that is L takes. Shout out to ESPN for their L takes.
Come to K&A football for not L takes.
Exactly. And you had informed me right before recording, actually. You want to go ahead and tell the viewers?
So they came out today. Again, this is ESPN, and this is like all the things. Maybe just trying to get things stirring about news. Maybe it's just the Bears trying to make people more desperate and come up and trade with them. But reports came out that the Bears said that they're getting a lot of interest in the number 1 pick, and that's their plan and intention is trading, and they're close to nearing deals. So I don't know. Maybe they're just saying that to get teams like, oh, shoot, like we got to get our guy. We don't want someone else trading up to 1. So that team will offer more, trade up to 1. But it's the right decision to stick with Fields. He's only played a couple seasons, and he's already, I think, your best quarterback ever. And he's going to be elite once he gets an offensive line and some receivers.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Justin Fields, no-brainer from us.
And now we're 3 for 3.
3 for 3 on the agreeing, man. I do feel like this whole division could go complete agreeance. For the Minnesota Vikings, we both have Kirk Thuggins, the man himself.
Mr. Average, Mr. Mid.
Mr. Mid, he is the absolute definition of mid. There's a reason that there is a tier ranking called Kirk Cousins when ranking quarterbacks. But regardless of his absolute middiness, he is a very serviceable quarterback. He does do very well for them, just not in primetime games.
Or in the playoffs.
Well,
I guess, playoffs is primetime. So
yeah, but that's fine. He's been a good quarterback. He's taken them to the playoffs a number of years in a row now. So again, no real reason to get rid of him. He's not the problem.
I know Vikings fans might be like, okay, like we're not going to win anything with him because he's just that average tier guy. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with him, but you're not going to miss the playoffs with him. So it's like, you have no reason to get rid of him, but he's just that mid guy. Like, you're stuck there, but he's too good to just get rid of him. And he has a high contract, but he's not good enough to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because if I like think in my mind of like quarterbacks who I could see with the confetti raising the Lombardi Trophy, I can see a lot of guys in that position, all the way down to like honestly like Baker Mayfield. I could see doing that. I can envision that in my head, but I just don't see Kirk Cousins doing that.
Because players like that, Baker has a high ceiling. He's nowhere near it because he's too much in his own head. But Kirk Cousins, like his ceiling is just mid, and his floor is mid. Like he's just stuck there.
He's stuck there. He can't go any lower. No. He legitimately cannot play worse. He can only play mid. All right. So last team in the NFC North is
we go 4 for 4 on agreements.
4 for 4.
But we did switch this one up. New quarterback.
Yeah, new quarterback. Not the same guy. We go for Jordan Love for the Green Bay Packers. We both obviously think that Aaron Rodgers coming out of his cave his darkness retreat. Will inevitably decide to go somewhere not the Packers. So we think that Jordan Love will be the starting guy in his 4th year for the Packers, drafted and never played in a meaningful game in his career.
I do think he will be really good. I mean, this is really similar to the Aaron Rodgers taking over for Brett Favre.
I think so.
Because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was drafted and Brett Favre was still there. Brett Favre played for a number of years still. And then he retired, and he's like, actually, no, I want to come back. And so he just kept staying there, and Aaron Rodgers kept being the backup. And finally, the Packers were like, okay, we're going to trade you, and we're going to start Rodgers. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Clearly, you think so, too. They're going to move on from Rodgers, and they're going to start the new guy who now has, 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years. Like 3 years experience now under Aaron Rodgers, who's a good quarterback, a great quarterback. So I said great quarterback.
Yeah, you said it.
You can clip me, I guess. But yeah, I think he's going to be good. I mean, they still don't have great weapons, but use picks on that, use free agency. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Just take a moment, man. Like, their graphics. Let's look elite. I found some good pictures online. Like, you know what also? A little off topic. I went through and I made it. And I went through at the end. almost over half the pictures were blurry. I found blurry pictures and I put them in, and I was like, dude, no way. So I had to spend another half
Debbie
hour.
would actually kill you for that.
Oh, I know. I was like, if I just sent this to Debbie right now, I would actually be like kicked off the podcast. But so I changed it, but it looks elite.
All right, before we move on, Ross Nisley has a statement that you guys should evaluate. He says, Poncho's chips are greater than Chipotle chips. What are your takes?
That is no.
I don't think I can agree with that. I really don't. The reason being that I think that as like an actual chip, right? You take like the base level just chip. Chipotle's is just a corn chip with salt. There's nothing else to it.
And it's elite.
And it's very good. Poncho's chip is good, but it's a corn chip and then they have to sprinkle seasoning on top. Right. You know what I'm saying? They bake the seasoning on with it. I think that they're very close to the same level, but I'm going to have to go with Chipotle's just because it just is what it is. It's just has some salt on it. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you can eat the Chipotle chip plain. Like I can get a bag of those Chipotle chips and I can just sit down and all the time. They're so good. But then you do that at Poncho's. Not last time, but 2 times ago that I was there, I did that, and they were terrible. I didn't like them at all, and I was like, "This is trash." Like, one of the reasons I thought Poncho's was so trash. And then we go last week, and we got what was it?
It's like some jalapeno cheese sauce,
cream sauce, something,
that's
something like that. Jeremiah is gonna love this, but and I used that, and that made it really good. But I feel like if the sauce is making the chip good, then it's just the sauce is good. If you have those sauce with Chipotle chips, maybe it's like super elite. I don't know. We might have to test. Huh?
Jeremiah agrees with Ross.
Really?
Wow.
I mean, of course he's gonna think that because we got a Poncho's backer there.
It's true.
Ooh,
the NFC South, the division of mid.
The division of what?
Look at that.
Oh, we
are
agree.
5 for 5 now.
we got to disagree eventually, man.
It has to be. Okay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We both have Jimmy Garoppolo as the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers. Do I think that Jimmy Garoppolo would want this? No, that's another legacy of sitting behind Tom Brady. But, we all know how much he loved that in New England. But I do think that he is a good fit for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Absolutely a good fit. I mean, he's literally Wish brand Tom Brady. He's off-brand Tom Brady. I mean, he can't move. Obviously Tom Brady is way better. He can do everything better. But I mean, he has a very similar skill set in his way. He's a pocket passer. He's a benefit. Like he works. He's that old guy. I mean, they're very similar. Yeah, it's a perfect fit. They don't really have to change their offense at all. It's not like he's a running quarterback coming. I mean,
right, exactly. You can keep pretty much the same thing. I mean, realistically, I don't really know how Tampa Bay was so bad this year. I mean, you really just look at the roster and you're like, okay, their offensive line was injured, so that's obviously a big part. Their offensive line was injured, but like their receiving core was good. Tom Brady just really couldn't connect this year for anything. And Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers, like we said, week after week, like Jimmy Garoppolo is not the problem. As long as you keep playing with Jimmy Garoppolo, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get the same production week after week. He's not going to lose you games. I'm going to regret saying that because I said that about Matt Ryan last year, and he ended up being the problem.
Oh, for sure.
So Jimmy Garoppolo, please don't let this be a clip next year at this time when then I have to review this and be like, wow, that was an L take.
Yeah, if you're the Bucks, I just don't think you can go into next season with Kyle Trask.
You can't.
As your QB.
You can't.
I mean, he wasn't good in college. He was mid at Florida. And I just don't think you can go into the season being like, yeah, we got Kyle Trask. We're confident. Like, if you do that, you're tanking the next season for Caleb Williams. Like, there's no hiding it. But I think this makes just too much sense.
It does. I think so. Can we go 6 for 6? Who's the next guy?
I really don't think so.
I don't think
My
so.
next one's a little out there, I think. We're still wrong, but this is not what I thought was next. All right. We got the Saints and the ugly mustard background, whatever.
You love that color. What are you talking about?
I have hoodies that color, but you got Andy Dalton.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I have Andy Dalton coming back for the Saints. The reason being, he wasn't super fantastic this last year. The whole year was kind of a battle between him and Winston. Dalton was supposed to be the backup, and so he was only signed to a 1-year deal. He was supposed to back up Jameis Winston, but Jameis Winston ended up being absolutely terrible. And so instead, they put Jameis Winston on, he's injured, that whole thing where they kind of lie about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, his foot hurts.
For the entire season.
For the whole year. That's what happened, guys.
It's Jackson Smith and Jigba, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So then they started Andy Dalton for the whole year. And I think that it makes a lot of sense to bring him back. I mean, was he fantastic? No, he really wasn't. Did he lose you a lot of games by throwing a lot of interceptions? Yeah, he did. But realistically, the Saints are like so far over the cap limit. Like there's millions and millions over the cap limit, like tens of millions. Like they can't go out.
There's like 80 million over. Like, and it's the same thing every year. Like, they're going to be in the same position next year, and you're going to be like, well, then how did they sign anybody this offseason? Like the cap is a myth. Like, there's no way it's a real thing.
It doesn't exist. The NFL does that stuff. You think that they don't spend inordinate amounts of money on everything, even though they do anyways. But I think that it just makes sense to bring Andy Dalton back. You don't have the money to go spend a big name guy. I do see a way in which your pick or a lot of others with a bunch of mid-tier guys happens, where they know that they can't get paid anywhere else, and so they go to the Saints because the Saints don't have a lot of money, and so they have to go with a lower grade guy. But I don't think that it's an impossibility for them to bring back Andy Dalton for this next year.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I'm not complaining if that happens. I don't think
of course you wouldn't.
I'm not. Andy Dalton's not. I mean, he was a quarterback this year, and he did nothing for them. So yeah. I'm not upset with this at all. But then I have Baker Mayfield going to the Saints, and I think it just makes a lot of sense. I mean, Baker, obviously, he was with the Panthers, got cut, signed with the Rams. They're probably not going to bring him back. I mean, they got Matthew Stafford coming back healthy now. So, and he's not going to want to sign there and just be a backup. Baker's ego is way too big to be a backup somewhere. So he's going to want to go to a team that he can start. And the Saints don't have a high pick. They can't really draft a quarterback, and they don't really have anything to trade up. And I mean, unless they go after like a Derek Carr, which they have been kind of adjointed with. Like people have said maybe Derek Carr can go there, but
I think Derek Carr demands too much money.
Right. They don't, like you said, they don't have any money. Baker, at this point, he's probably just wanting to go play and prove himself because he believes in himself. I mean, like he should. Any quarterback should believe in themselves. But he's going to, oh, guys, trust me, I have a chip on my shoulder. Let's go play the Panthers twice. Like, he's going to go there. I'm not complaining with that either. I mean, Baker's not a good quarterback, as we all know now. And I mean, he's got weapons there. They don't need any offensive skill positions. They got a good O-line, great receivers. Kamara might be suspended this season, but their defense is good. I think that they use the little cap. They use the negative 80 cap that they have, and they go get Baker Mayfield.
I could see it happening. Definitely a possibility. All right, next team we have here in the NFC
South.
South.
Or is it the Falcons? I really don't know. It's the Falcons.
It is the Falcons. For those of you, again, that are only listening, Kadin has Lamar Jackson as his pick, and I have Ryan Tannehill as my future quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. You want to go ahead and talk about Lamar here?
Yeah, trust me. I really want to be wrong on this. I will be really upset if they go get Lamar Jackson. Let me tell you that right now, because he is a game changer. He's a top 5 quarterback in the league. And if they go there, they're automatically the best team in this division. I mean, he's elite. And the other quarterbacks in this division right now are Kyle Trask, Matt Corral, Andy Dalton. I mean, like, come on. He's an elite quarterback, and if he goes there, like, they're a lock to win the division at this point. So I really hope I'm wrong on this, but they have a lot of cap space. They have great receivers. They have sustainable running backs. Their defense does need a lot of work. But the Ravens working on Lamar Jackson contract is really sounding like he's not going to stay there. Like they're saying we'll give you this much, and he goes, no, I want $100 million more than you're offering me, and I want it fully guaranteed, which is crazy, but which I think paying that much is stupid for a running quarterback. He's already had multiple injuries. He has his injury concerns. Plus, if you're the Falcons, you're going to have to be trading away 3 first-round picks or so 2 or 3 first round picks and probably a couple players. I mean, he is an elite player, but he's always injured and he's not going to last that long.
Yeah.
But they were really aggressive last season going after
Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. They were really close to getting him until the Browns were like, "Oh wait, here's all the money."
Here is the cap space.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to be in debt for 8 years, but here. But they were aggressive at going after him last year. I don't see anything stopping them from being aggressive again this year. I think they have the capital to make it work. I really hope not, but realistically, if you had to tell me where's Lamar playing next year, I'm unfortunately saying the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah, I do kind of agree with you because I had said this a couple months ago now when we were talking about where Lamar would go, and I said I think it makes sense for him to go to the Falcons. You had told me I was crazy at the time, but clearly now you think the same thing, which is good. I've convinced him. But I don't think that he's going to the Falcons.
Good.
We'll find out later where
Good.
I think he's going to go.
I'm all with that.
Of course you are. I think that Ryan Tannehill will be the starting quarterback for the Falcons.
I'm just going after Titans quarterbacks now.
Yeah, for real. Ryan Tannehill has 1 year left on his contract with the Tennessee Titans. It's not worth a whole bunch of money, but it is what it is. And I think that they'll go after him because, again, like their offense isn't awful. They are a run-first offense, kind of like Ryan Tannehill has in Tennessee right now. They ran the most out of any team in the league last year. The Falcons did. And their defense does need work, but, welcome to Ryan Tannehill's career. So
Yeah.
I do think that it would, I don't know, I don't really see why or why not it would happen. I just kind of have a feeling that Ryan Tannehill will go to the Falcons. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, all of these are feelings.
All of these
none
are feelings.
Yeah.
I do see Lamar Jackson going to the Falcons. Like if Lamar Jackson doesn't go where I think he's going to go, I do see the Falcons. But if not, I think Tannehill because I don't think you can go into next season with Mariota and Ritter.
Mhm.
That's just not something you can do.
Right. I mean, you can't go into seasons with very little quarterback. I mean, it's the most important position in football. You got to have that answered to some point.
Right.
But they do have the 8th pick in the draft. So they do have the potential that if they're not going to go after Lamar Jackson, they could decide to go get that shining prize QB in the draft. And if you want that nice new shining deck, call our friends at K&F Construction. K&F Construction has been serving the Northeast Ohio community for over 16 years, specializing in composite decks. K&F Construction takes the time and effort to provide the service and product that you deserve for your home. You can call K&F Construction today at 330-575-2465 for a free estimate. Again, that's 330-575-2465. You can also visit kfdecks.com, which is linked in the description. K&F Construction. Let us build your dream backyard.
So the last team in the NFC South is, of course, your beloved Carolina Panthers.
We both got a rookie quarterback.
Both have a rookie quarterback for this one. Obviously, you're going with CJ Stroud because we both think that he is the best quarterback in this draft.
Mhm.
Maybe a tinge of Ohio State bias, but I do think that Bryce Young being 90 pounds soaking wet is, kind of an issue.
190. But who's really
190 soaking wet. That's really not that much better for the NFL. At like standing at 4 foot nothing. So he's a small guy. So CJ Stroud is the better quarterback, but I don't see the Panthers being able to get him. Obviously, for the Panthers to be able to do that, they would have to pull off an actual miracle. They would have to trade up for the Bears. They would have to have the Texans trade up to 1, and then the Panthers trade for the 2. Because both quarterbacks are going bam bam. Like it will be Bryce Young, CJ.
Yeah,
that's how the draft's going to go.
It will.
So
it's gonna be fun to see how it folds out.
It
A lot of
will be,
teams
yeah.
can go make a move.
A lot of teams can make a move, but the Panthers would have to pull out a miracle for this.
I'm all here for the miracles.
It's a stretch. It's a stretch, but I understand why you go for it. I'm going for a little more of a realistic option for the Panthers,
More boring.
where they don't have to go trade here, there, and around the square. They can just kind of sit where they're at, and they can draft Will Levis as their starting quarterback for next year. Like I told you, I don't know if Will Levis will be their starter. I'm picking him right now because, obviously if they draft him, I'm going to say Levis. but I don't know if he'll be good enough. Like once you get into training camp and once you actually have that QB battle between him, Darnold, and Corral, if he'll
Darnold
actually
and the only
win
one
that out.
on the roster right now is Corral. Darnold and PJ Walker are both free agents.
Oh, well, there you go. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring back Darnold just for the QB battle, but just sign him to a short deal because realistically, he's not going to be anywhere except a backup. But that being said, if it's just him and Corral on the roster, I think that Levis will probably win that job pretty easily. 2 quarterbacks from smaller schools. But I'm going to go with Corral as the Panthers starting quarterback for next year.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers are going to have a new quarterback next year. It's going to be a rookie. They've come out and said that they want to get their guy. They want to get a rookie. They want to develop him. They feel like they have the staff to do it. So it's pretty clear that they're going to have a new rookie QB, whether it be any of the probable 4 first-round quarterbacks. I would really be fine. I'd be ecstatic, let me say, with CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
Obviously, most teams
the
would.
two, the two of them. If the Panthers go CJ, great. If they go Bryce, great. If they go Levis, I'll be happy. I'm not going to be like as happy, but I mean, it's hard to. No one knows how these quarterbacks are going to be. I mean, he reminds me. A lot of comparisons of him are Josh Allen because he's big. He's got a huge arm, but he throws a lot of picks. And he played at Kentucky, which is not really a football school. So I mean, obviously, it depends on really how he develops in the NFL. I think they'll go get CJ Stroud. I'm hoping they go get CJ Stroud. Look, they have the 9th pick, and CJ Stroud is not going to be there at 9. No. They're going to have to trade up to 1 or maybe 3 and hope that maybe the Texans trade up to 1, the Bears stay at 2, and then draft some defensive player. And so the other quarterback falls to 3. You don't really want it to come down to fate, so you probably just want to trade up to 1 to be safe. So I mean, look, the Panthers last season, kind of like the Falcons, were going all in on Watson. The Texans said they liked the Panthers' offer the best. They wanted to accept that one, but Watson had the final say, and they wouldn't give him as much money. So he said, no, like, I want to go to the money. I don't really see anything saying that they're not going to throw the bag at the Bears now and try to trade up to 1. I mean, their new offensive coordinator, before he was the offensive coordinator, he had a YouTube channel. It's a little concerning, but he had a YouTube channel and he like analyzed college prospects, and he did multiple things on CJ Stroud and about how much he loved CJ Stroud, and he reminded him of Joe Burrow and how he thinks he's going to be a great quarterback. And now he's the QB coach. Hey, maybe
Could happen.
One can hope.
One can dream. It's fine. All right, so now leaving the NFC South, we jump over to the NFC West. So let's go ahead and jump in and see who we picked. I'm really curious who you have for some of these teams. I think most of them will probably be the same. Obviously, same one for the Seahawks as last year. Geno Smith for the both of us.
Deservingly so.
Deservingly so. He played very well last year. No one thought that he'd be in this position to actually have the starting role this next year. So good job to him, and really no surprise.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. All right, next team. Just fly right past that. It doesn't matter. Again, not really, surprising. Though he won't be the actual starter. Like at week 1 starting Kyler Murray, that will not be it. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray will not be starting for the Cardinals. I don't know why I blanked on their name for half a second there. Because obviously he's tore his ACL towards the end of last season. So he has about half the season in. He'll come back after his full recovery. But he probably won't be there for week 1. But he will be the guy for the Cardinals for a lot of years. At the beginning of last season, they paid him $250 million over 10 years. So obviously he's going to be around for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they'll go sign a veteran backup QB to start for the first half of their season. Maybe get them some wins by the time Kyler Murray comes. Maybe Andy Dalton, who you think will be at the Saints. Yeah. That's a possibility. I mean, yeah, it will be Kyler Murray as soon as he's healthy.
Right.
Yeah, right. I did realize we've only done 2 divisions, and there's 8. So I'm like, on the ones that we agree on,
we should probably like
spend less time on those. But yeah.
All right, next one, Margaret. Yep, no shock here. The Rams will have Matt Stafford as their QB1. I still think that Baker will be sitting behind him. I think that's, again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Baker Mayfield needs to just stay in LA because he would be the replacement for Matthew Stafford, who is very close to retirement. So if he can just stay there and swallow his ego for like 3 years, he'll be set. But he won't do that, and so he's going to go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
that's fine. All right. Last team here in the NFC East. Of course, for the 49ers, we both have Trey Lance. Brock Purdy cannot actually start for the 49ers week 1 because he'll be having Tommy John surgery on his elbow. So he'll be out for a while. But Lance will start, and I think that if he performs well, he'll probably just be the starter throughout the rest of the year as well.
Yeah, I personally am really... I love Trey Lance. I think he's amazing.
Really, we never heard that
Right,
before.
I know, but I was going to get to this. I feel like I know your take, but like, what's your opinion on Trey Lance? I feel like I know, but I don't.
So my opinion on Trey Lance is like, when he plays somewhat well, but I haven't been able to see him play enough to actually have a solid opinion on him.
That's fair.
Like it kind of feels like Jordan Love or some of these rookie quarterbacks coming in like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, where you're like, okay, we have tape on them from college, and for a couple of these guys, a little bit in the NFL, but realistically, they don't play in meaningful games. I mean, Trey Lance played week 1 of last year, and that was it. Then he broke his ankle. He played a little bit the year before in the last 4 games, but it didn't matter. Or they were playing all backups anyways. So it's like, I don't really have a solid opinion on him. Do I think that he would be good in the Shanahan system? Of course, everyone succeeds in the Shanahan system. If he goes somewhere else, would he be just as good? He probably would do very well. I mean, sitting all of these years, being on the bench, especially behind a game manager like Garoppolo, some of that's going to wear off on you, and it's going to be really good for you. So I think that he'll probably be a fine NFL quarterback. Elite level, maybe not, but I think that he'll be good.
I think so. I think he'll be elite, but we'll see. Do you think obviously it's not going to happen, but if Purdy by some miracle was ready week 1, do you think they start Purdy?
I think if Purdy was projected to be better by week 1, I think that they would probably trade Lance and keep Purdy.
Fair. Yeah. I can see it.
All right, last team, no, we already did all the teams.
Yeah.
So last division in the NFC West. I think that most of these quarterbacks will probably agree on, other than, well, actually, we might agree on all of them. There'll be one new face.
Real quick, look at this problem solving by me. I look up, you might be able to see it. I look up NFC East, and the division comes up, but the old Redskins logo and there was none with the new Commanders. And I was like, well, shoot, we can't be like,
well, we could.
Well,
We could.
whatever.
I'm still not going to call them by their forbidden name.
So I go and I Photoshop. Not really. I get the new Commanders logo and I put it over top. That looks. You can't even notice it's different.
Yeah, and it's a completely different color. That is a completely different color.
I was really happy with it, and I wasn't gonna point it out, but I decided to.
Fair enough,
because it looks good.
Fair enough. All right, let's jump in here. First team here in the NFC West.
Shocker.
Really shocking. The Philadelphia Eagles will be rolling with Jalen Hurts. He'll probably get his bag this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And be in Philadelphia for the rest of time.
And make the next Super Bowl. We're going to do it, boys. Let's get it.
No, it's the Browns' year.
Okay, yeah. By the way, Debbie has just apparently become an Eagles fan.
Yeah, which we didn't know before this.
I have become what I sought to destroy.
Yesterday at church, something came up about the Eagles, and Debbie's like, "Oh yeah, we're going all the way next year." And I was like,
He said the word we.
And I was like, "We as in you are an Eagles fan?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"I'm a little bit bandwagon, but
Little bandwagon.
You know
why
why
would you
you
think that? Stop
You know
thinking
what,
that right now.
Kadin,
Just scroll right past that.
Why do you like the Panthers, Kate?
what I like the Panthers
Yeah.
because I would play with them in Madden. I liked Cam Newton. I loved.
When
Cam
did
Newton.
you start liking the Panthers, Kaden?
I started liking the Panthers in 3rd grade?
So before their Super Bowl run.
Okay, fair enough. But I know a lot
No
of
one
people.
can accuse me of being bandwagon. We've been back forever.
That's true.
Well, and you live here.
I
At
do
some
live
point,
here.
you got to pick a team, and I'm picking.
You could have gone with the Browns, man.
You know what?
We'll always accept you.
No, no.
Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. We don't win a lot.
Yeah, it's always a shame.
It's always a shame. All right, next team in the NFC West. Moving right past that. Obviously, Dallas Cowboys rolling with Dak Prescott. Do I think they should? No, I don't. I don't think Dak Prescott's that fantastic. Like we love to mention, he threw the most interceptions out of anyone last year, and he played 5 less games.
And he won the Walter Payton Man of the Year for it.
Yeah, and then he got booed at the Super Bowl, which is just fantastic.
Looking to see more tears shed this season.
Yes, I'm looking for them. I'm really looking forward to the Cowboys having a great run this year where they inevitably fall apart in the playoffs and don't make it to the NFC Championship game. It'll be fantastic.
Every year.
Every year. But Jerry Jones absolutely loves this man, and so he will be going nowhere till the day he dies. All right, third team in the NFC West.
Oh,
we do have the same
agree,
guy.
yeah.
There we go. I was curious about that. So the football team, we both think that Sam Howell will be the starting quarterback for the football team. It was kind of between him, Wentz, and Heineke last year. Towards the end of the year, they didn't really know who to go with, and then they inevitably went with Howell towards the end of the year because, well, they had nothing left to play for, and Wentz is trash. The football team did just cut Carson Wentz today, saving about $260 million, which is ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, they saved $260 million by cutting him.
260 million.
Yes.
That's like more than the whole.
Yes.
260 mil.
Yeah, that's what I read anyways. I can check if that's right.
There's no way that his contract was 260 mil.
That's just what Bleacher Report told me, man.
I think Bleacher Report is bugging. Let's see. Carson, how much money did the Commanders save from cutting Carson Wentz?
81.7.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That's a lot more sense. There we go.
That makes a lot more sense.
As I was saying the number, I'm like,
260 mil is close to the entire NFL cap space.
I was like, 260 mil is like more than Kyler Murray's being paid over 10 years. That number can't be right. No, 81 mil does make a lot more sense. So they saved close to $100 million.
That is still a lot of money.
Which is a lot of money for him. And like we have said before, we'll say again, Carson Wentz does not deserve to be a starter in the NFL. He is not nearly good enough.
Hey, I heard the XFL has some openings.
Oh, I'm sure they do. The recent departure of PJ Walker, a lot of space for people like him. So we're both going with Sam Howell.
Yeah.
I would love to see Heineke play. I really would. But
I think he deserves it.
I think he deserves it too, but I really don't think that he's good enough. So
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be Howell going into the next year.
Yeah, he was a rookie this season. See what you got in the guy.
Yeah. I
Worst
agree.
case scenario, you get the first pick, and then you get Caleb Williams next year.
There you go. That's worst case right there. All right, and then the last team for the NFC is the Giants, and we obviously both think that Geno Smith. No, Geno. What am I saying, Caden? I'm bugging. Daniel Jones. Thank you, Debbie. Daniel Jones will be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. They said that they want to keep both him and Saquon, and are willing to give him the bag for it. Probably
He wants 45, more than 45
Yeah.
mil a year, which
ridiculous.
I think is ridiculous.
He's not getting paid.
that good. He had one pretty decent season, and now he thinks he's like out here and he's Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
not gonna happen.
that is Mahomes money right there.
That is
45
Mahomes
is
money.
Mahomes money, and he is not Mahomes.
He's nowhere close to Mahomes.
He would like if I were the Giants, I would say, look, we'll give you 25 a year.
Oh man, that's a really low ball.
25 mil a year. And he'll say, I want 35. You say, we'll give you 30. Deal. I think he'll land about 30 million a year.
I think he'll land close to 35. I mean, he has leverage. I mean, he can leave. There will be teams that want him.
Yeah, I don't think he will leave though. Not the Giants.
Stay in New York.
Stay in New York, man. No, I think that he will stay with the Giants for this next year. I really do.
Sure.
Regardless whether or not he gets the money he wants, which he won't. Goodness, that's a lot of money that he wants.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving into the AFC. 4 divisions left. The AFC East. Who we got going on here?
We got the Dolphins. We got the Bills.
No, that's not.
We got the Patriots and the
quarterbacks.
Jets.
All right, Margaret. Hit that next slide.
Oh, we got a shocking one.
Really? You have Josh Allen staying with the Bills?
I do.
Me too. I didn't see that one happening. I thought that was a really wild take for me to keep Josh Allen there, but I guess not. I guess you thought the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much to say. He's a top
No.
3 quarterback in the league. He's a great regular season QB and playoff QB, but the Bills are not a good playoff team. There's a difference.
Right.
But yeah, there's like a negative chance that he's not their quarterback next year.
Right.
Oh, we have the same
man.
one.
I was thinking we might change on this one, but apparently not. New York Jets. We both have Derek Carr going to the Jets. For me, I chose the Jets for Derek Carr. Obviously, he was cut by the Raiders just last week or so, saving them a lot of money. It was literally like if they waited an extra 2 hours on cutting him, they would have owed him $40 million guaranteed or something like that.
Thanks. Imagine you're Derek Carr and you're like, oh,
Please just hold out. Just hold out.
like I'm gonna get a bonus check in a couple of hours, and then you're cut. You don't get it anymore.
He knew that it wasn't gonna happen. Everyone knew that.
I know, but still,
He was gonna get
just
cut
imagine.
before
That's so
then.
sad.
It is sad. Missed on a lot of money. But obviously we both think that he's going to the Jets. The only reason I think this, there are obviously a lot of teams that would love to have him.
Love. I mean,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of teams that have been after him, and he's visited a number of teams. And And there's been rumors that a lot of teams would like him, but I think that the Jets are pursuing him most egregiously.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that he'll probably go Jets.
Yeah, reports came out that after their meeting, the Jets said to him in their meeting that if you play for us and win a Super Bowl, you can be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which, first of all, is completely wrong. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's not even a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. But
Devontae Adams would disagree with you.
Devontae Adams would disagree with me. But I think that they're really trying to be like, look, if you come here, like you can be a Hall of Famer. You can win a Super Bowl. So they're trying to pry him, like they're trying to be like, yo, like come to us, like they're trying to make it look good. So clearly they want him.
Very clearly. So I think that he'll probably go Jets. We'll see what happens though. There's still a lot of opportunity, but I think that's the most likely there.
Yeah, and it's an upgrade over Zach Wilson.
Definitely. Okay, we do both have Tua for the Dolphins.
I spent a lot of time thinking about him because,
yeah,
like we know he gets concussions all the time, which is weird because it's not really a thing for. It's hard to explain. Like he just gets them. He gets concussions. He's got a weak
he
head,
catches
bro.
concussions like we catch colds. Like that's
There we go.
That's Tua for you. Like I think what you're trying to say is that concussions really aren't a quarterback injury. That's more of a like wide receiver type thing. Like that's what I think it was. Like you get hit all the time out there.
Yeah, O lineman.
Right. Like you get hit in the head, you get your bell rung. But he seems to catch them all the time. Yeah, like you said, I thought a lot about this one because I was like, oh, there's a lot of people talking like, oh, you know, Dolphins are probably going to want to go someone else. Maybe Tua retires. Maybe Tua. I don't think Tua will retire. I think that he'll stay in the league until they medically force him out. And I think that the Dolphins, despite their cheating scandals in the past with trying to cop quarterbacks under contract, I think they'll probably roll with him next year.
Oh yeah, and Mike McDaniels loves to.
Oh, he does.
Like their relationship is like borderline weird. Like the things that you see, it's like, man, like they really like each other, but
they're best friends.
they are best friends. But so yeah, I think Tua stays at least for another year. Now, if more concussions happen next year, like they're going to be in trouble. Tua's like future health, like living, it's going to be in trouble. But he's definitely going to retire.
A good backup.
Oh yeah, they
better sign a good.
If I'm Baker Mayfield and no team wants to me to be a starter, I'm going to Miami to be a backup because you're definitely going to see the field at least 6 games.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean he's so like susceptible now. Like I think I put money on it next year this year, 2023, that he gets another concussion.
I'd put money on it. I'd probably still take the odds on 3.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can actually like bet on that, like to an injury next
That's
year.
got to be a line for like the entire year.
Oh man,
line 3 injuries. Probably a game by game thing. All right, last team here. I'm curious if we agree. Yep, we do. Mac Jones.
Overrated, very overrated. Actually, well, how do I know how to say this? He is very overrated as a football player and in real life. I've said that many times.
Yeah.
But let me go off and say, in Madden 22, he is elite. Okay? We didn't buy Madden 23, my family, because it's the same thing every year, just with updated rosters. Like at some point, it's like, okay, I'm not going to spend $75 every year, and none of us play Xbox enough to
justify it.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like I'm busy. I play it not that much, so there's no point. But me and my brother sometimes we're like, okay, let's play Madden. So we'll do that every here and there, and we have close games. Lately, I'm never the Patriots. I'm always a bunch of fun teams, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be the Patriots, whatever. Dude, he is a cheat code. He's literally like prime Mahomes out there, like, or Tom Brady, but he's fast. Like they gave him like elite speed. Like he's so fast. Like the first time he was the Eagles. Eagles are great. He gets pressure on me every play, and I just and I run off, throw like a no look dime. Like, dude, he's out here goated, okay? And I'm like, dude, why are they making Mac Jones this good? While my brother's raging next to me, like throwing things because he's like, Mac Jones is not that good. Which is fair because he's not. And then we played another game and he was the Bengals. Same thing happened. I mean, Mac Jones, I don't know what you did. I don't know who you befriended at EA, but man.
I just had to talk. Padded your stats there.
Dude, they did. I had to talk about that. When I saw Mac Jones, that's what I thought of.
So yeah, Mac Jones, he's not great. He is a chubby Kirk Cousins. And that's about it for him.
Yeah. He has a higher ceiling on Kirk Cousins because he's not
he
mid.
Does. His ceiling is not mid, hopefully. All right, the AFC West, the quote, as we called it last year, the elite division, the best division in football. Hopefully it'll live up to the hype this year.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, so first team, no surprise here. Kansas City Chiefs will be rolling with Mahomes for the next 8 years, as his contract states. And then probably a couple years after that when they sign him to little deals so that he can stay there winning Super Bowls till the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in football.
For sure. I mean, I put mine in. For all of these, I just put my picture under mine, and I left your side blank, which I think Debbie then filled in all yours for you so that we didn't see each other's. But for this one, I just put your picture in because I'm like, okay, there's like a negative chance that he doesn't pick Mahomes here. But then I got thinking, and I'm like, okay, I know it would never happen in 100 million years. This would never happen. But say it did. Say like I think the farthest you can trade is 3 years into the future of draft picks. But how much, like what, at what point did the Chiefs get an offer from Mahomes in a hypothetical world? And they're like, yeah, we're going to accept this trade. It's too good. Because like, obviously never, ever, ever would happen. But like, in a crazy world, right? In ultimate reality, when are they accepting a trade? Because I was thinking about that when I made this.
That trade would literally have to be like, you get a good quarterback. Like, you get Josh Allen.
Joe Burrow, yeah.
Joe Burrow. You get 2 first-round picks. You get prime Christian McCaffrey. Like, that would have to be the trade. You get players, you get picks, and they're elite. That's the only way that trade happens. Right. And even then,
especially he's so young. He's what, 27 years old?
Yeah.
I'm at least getting Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
Yes.
3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
2 elite defensive players.
This trade would have to come from like 3 teams, and they all share like joint custody of Mahomes, where like every other weekend they each get him. Like, okay, Mahomes, they like, pack his bags and like, okay, you're flying out to LA this week, and he just flies out there and he plays for them that week. That's what would have to happen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, and you
yes,
yeah, and you'd have to turn cap space off because the amount of players you'd have to trade for Mahomes would be like Saints level over the cap. So, but. Yeah,
Andy Reid wouldn't get his complimentary cheeseburgers anymore. Let's just say that.
No, he definitely would. I mean, imagine that though. You take Mahomes out, but then you add with the Chiefs already, and you add in like Burrow, Jamar Chase.
No, it would never happen.
I know it would never.
He'd never get traded.
Oh, I know it would never happen. But I'm in this.
In the
what'd
hypothetical world,
hypothetical.
An alternate reality.
Yeah.
And it'd have to be at the end of his contract too. That's the thing. It'd have to be at the end of his contract because no team is paying out that contract.
I will pay that in a heartbeat for Mahomes. Not me personally.
$500 million. A lot of money, man. A lot of money. All right.
We spent a lot of time on Mahomes. That's crazy.
Yeah, we did. For a quarterback, they're like, yeah, who could have guessed? Man, I'm really surprised that we agree on both Carr and Rodgers. I really am. So for the Las Vegas Raiders, we both have Aaron Rodgers as the guy who will be starting for the Raiders. I think this because, obviously, reunite with Devontae Adams. They were absolutely electric together in Green Bay. I think that after spending what was supposed to be 4 days, but I think it ended up being 4 months, he saw his shadow, got scared, turned around, and went back in. In the darkness, I think that he's like, oh, yeah, well, the Raiders have dark colors, and I like the darkness now. So he's just like turned into Batman.
You're right.
And now he's just going to the Raiders. And
I didn't even think about that. You're right. Dude, did you see his like place?
I did see some pictures.
It was like, I was like, how can you stay there for 4 days? Like, that's miserable.
Yeah, it's like literally just a bed, a bathroom, and a kitchen, and then like a meditation yoga mat on the floor, and it was like one room, and that was it.
That's
the whole thing. How did he navigate? I don't know. Yeah, well, he had a kitchen. There was a kitchen in there.
Well, no, I think somebody gave him.
That's light.
I think somebody gave him.
Oh,
like there was like a door, like a doggy door or something, and they
slid in food. Aaron, we're gonna be sliding food through the doggy door. Look away so the light doesn't touch you.
Like that's crazy. Imagine coming out of that too. Your eyes, like
you'd have to like slowly open the door over the course of another 4 days, so your eyes could be like adjust the light enough. It'd be terrible. That's
crazy. But yeah, I think he also goes to the Raiders. Devontae Adams, obviously we know that that's his guy.
Yeah,
and he's at the Raiders, so he's gonna. That's probably his preferred destination, I would think.
I would think so too. All right. For the Chargers, no surprise again. We both have Justin Herbert, a bottom 5 quarterback in the league.
I was about to say, why would you ever get rid of a top 5 QB? I mean, that's all there is to it.
I mean, yeah, he's good enough for now. He's serviceable, I guess. Jared Goff level stuff.
Wow.
All right, next team here. No surprise here. We have Mr. Dangerous. He likes spicy things.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
Gotta be unlimited.
Unlimited. Russell Wilson for the Denver Broncos. Hopefully he and Sean Payton can make something happen other than whatever the heck last year was. We don't talk about last year.
No, but I think that they have a good chance of being, obviously a lot improved. No, they can't get worse than
You
last year.
literally cannot get worse than last year.
They will be improved because they have Sean Payton, and Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame elite coach.
You know what I can't get over, Caden? I literally, I know that I just cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But I literally cannot get over that the Broncos defense was literally the greatest defense that I've ever seen. They gave up 20 points a game. That's it. 20 points a game is all they gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Like on average. Like that's ridiculous.
And they won like 4 or 5 games.
And your offense is just so trash that they can't score 20. Like if you just have any semblance of an offense at all, literally bring in Baker Mayfield and you're probably winning more games than they did. Like I just haven't been able to get over that since last year. Like I literally cannot get over that. Like how is your defense so good and your offense is so trash that you still lose games?
Yeah, and it's one thing if you went into it and you had Drew Lock, but they had gone after, traded a crazy amount away for Russell Wilson, and who's won Super Bowls. He's proven probably a Hall of Famer, and he comes and then trash. That's what makes it so crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right. Next division here is the AFC South. I suspect that there will be some new faces here.
There's going to be...
I assume at least 2. Well, yeah, there we go. New face there. For the Texans, we both have Bryce Young. I think that if the Texans don't... whatever. The Texans will either have Bryce Young or TJ Stroud. That's just the way that it'll be. I think the Texans will probably sit right
Unless
there.
Unless they get enamored with Will Levis.
I seriously doubt that. Though that would be a very Texans move to get enamored with Will Levis and be like, this is the guy.
He's
this
the
is
next Josh
diamond
Allen.
in the rough.
He's the Josh Allen. Yeah.
No. I think the Texans will probably just sit at 2 no matter what happens. Because there's, in my opinion, for the Texans, was it a really big mistake to win that last game of the season and drop to 2? Of course it was. But I mean, I feel like that takes some of the pressure off, though, right? It's like, I'm sitting here at 2. I'll either get CJ or Bryce. Whoever goes 1, I'll get whoever goes 2. That's just how it is. I think they'll sit right here. CJ will go 1, and then Texans will take Bryce at 2.
Yeah. It is a little concerning. The reason that I think Bryce has better skills.
Yeah.
But what's concerning is it came out today, his official listed height, he's 5'10 and a half. And I still think that's a little exaggerated. I still think he might be shorter than that. He is very, very short. And not only that, he's so, what's the word? Not heavy. He's light. What's
the word I'm looking for? It's not heavy. It's whatever the opposite of that is.
But he's 190?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get crushed in the NFL. That's what's concerning. He could completely get crushed and then boom, he's gone for 2 years. I mean, that's what's concerning. He has so much skill and the ability to move and evade pressure and get move around until he finds an open guy. But his size is the only concern.
Yeah. 190 is receiver level weight. And receivers have to run.
Well, and 190 is still very light. When Devontae Smith came out of Alabama, he was 190, and people were scared to draft him because he was only 190.
Too small, yeah.
And now this is a quarterback who's going to be getting hit all the time.
Isn't that a bit heavy for 5'10"?
Right. That's
190?
Well, I mean, it's muscle.
Yeah, no, I know. It just feels pretty heavy for...
No, it's definitely... Because, it's also...
5'10".
Quarterbacks typically are 6'5", 6'4", 6'3".
Right.
250. Or not even that, 230.
I'll do some research.
Right. So I think that 190 for 5'10" is reasonable.
Okay,
but
maybe that's good for the normal human.
Right.
Maybe
but
that's
not
good for
an NFL
us.
player.
But I'm not going to play in the NFL. If I got sacked by Aaron Donald, I'm gonna be dead.
Right. Aaron Donald's 350 pounds, dude. He's huge.
I'm gonna be dead for 4 days. Yeah. No, way more than 4 days. I'm gonna be dead for probably ever. And now Bryce Young is gonna go do the same thing as me, and he has the exact same body as me, except
Yeah, Aaron Donald can like we did. I think we literally did the math one time. Aaron Donald can bench Debbie's family.
Yeah, we did do the math.
We did do the math. Aaron Donald can literally bench if Debbie's family sat on a bench press bar.
And I
Aaron
have
Donald.
six. Like there's 6 people in my family.
Yeah,
It's not
Aaron Donald
small.
could bench press. Like
Not a super
Aaron
small
Donald will
family.
kill Bryce Young.
Oh,
100%.
unless he puts on some weight.
Got to put on some weight, man.
Get on
His
some
BMI is calculating he's overweight. Now that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
That
yeah.
BMI is absolute
But
trash.
I feel like 190 is really heavy for.
No, it's not.
Only
He's
5'10".
very, very like skinny. Like
He's an inch taller than I am.
Yes.
right, but he's muscle. He's not any fat. But no,
Anyways,
he's still
let's
you
continue.
gotta be big to play in the NFL.
Right,
You
like
can't
for a
be
normal
from-
human, that's fine. But if you're playing in the NFL, you cannot be that. Like he looks small. Like that's the thing.
He hey, look at that. You can't look at them and be like, oh, he's jacked, bro. I mean, he's not. Get on some trend. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying, bro. Just get some trend. No big deal. I'm sure they won't test you for that.
Oh,
All
I
right.
think you skipped one, Margaret.
Margaret, did you skip one?
There we
Ah, you did.
go. We switched the Panthers. and
No,
the
we
Colts.
did. So for the Colts, I have CJ Stroud, which would be best case scenario for me. Not that I'm any sort of a Colts fan whatsoever.
Hey, I thought you said Panthers. You would also.
The Panthers would be fine, but I think the Colts is the best situation for CJ. And for those of you who don't know, I have the first pick in our Dynasty League. So anyone in that league who's watching, if you want to trade, you better come at me with an arm and a leg in your next 4-year first-round picks, because I'm not trading for nothing. If CJ goes to the Colts, I am drafting him immediately, like pre-draft. I'm just putting it in, just CJ. So this would be best
Young-
case for me.
Bryce Young is a 5'11", by the way. I mean, it's
No,
on
5'10"
they-
and a half.
Yeah, it's 5'10" and a half.
they listed it here as 5'11".
He told him he listed at Alabama. He was listed at 6 foot. So they always exaggerate heights.
No, okay.
We'll find out this weekend at the combine what his
That's true.
official weight is.
Yeah.
Official
Anyways.
weight.
Sorry, Austin, I broke your flow.
100 pounds. All right, so yeah, CJ for me for the Colts. That's who I think will go ahead and take that Bears number 1 pick. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in the draft, really.
Yeah, and then Will Levis, I think he's more likely going to go to the Panthers at 9, who might stay put, but maybe go up for CJ. I don't know, but if the Panthers do go up, like I'm hoping they will, and then Bryce Young goes to the Texans, the Colts are going to be like, well, shoot, we got the 4th pick now, 4th or 5th.
I think it's the 4th.
Yeah, I don't know, but we need a quarterback, and the top 2 are gone, so there's no one to sign anymore because they already have signed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna take the next best guy, and I think he'd be fine for them. I mean, they're not gonna be good. They don't got many weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna be good no matter who they get in their first season. But you develop him, you never know what you got.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last team here. Oh, not last team. This is the 3rd team here.
This one's very
Yeah,
easy.
Very easy. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. End of discussion.
Yep.
That's it.
He's become an elite quarterback.
He has. Yeah.
Go
He's
check
good now.
out Austin's 5-minute football before he became an elite quarterback.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Ooh, I like it.
2 number 7s doing the exact same thing, but 2 different guys. That's kind of cool. Whatever. I got Malik Willis. He was the rookie quarterback for them this year. He sat a majority of the year, but then Tannehill got hurt and he came in and he looked
Trash.
pitiful. Why do I have him starting? Well, because the Titans organization is kind of pitiful. And they drafted this guy and he has so much hype, but he was going into the NFL, he was a raw prospect and he needed developed and he needed to sit. He
Yeah.
wasn't going to be that impact player year 1, maybe even year 2. Well, the best way to get accustomed to the game is by playing. And I think Tannehill's going to go somewhere else. I don't know where. I don't think he'll be a starter anywhere. I think Tannehill's kind of on the downslope of his career.
Yeah. I mean, he's 36.
Yeah, I think you just move Malik Willis up. You start him. You get him that playing time and development and keep building the roster. And he'll become the good quarterback he was supposed to be in time.
Yeah. I have Jacoby Brissett going here. I think that he deserves to be the number 1 guy somewhere. He played so well for the Browns this year, and I would love to see him go succeed somewhere else. He signed a 1-year deal with Cleveland, so he's a free agent. I'd love if we could bring him back because I really love the guy, and he and Watson really clicked. So I'd love if we could bring him back, but I think that he deserves to start somewhere else. And if Tannehill leaves, which I think we both think he will, I think that he'll probably go to Tennessee, though I can also see him going somewhere like the Cardinals and starting their season the way they did, the way he did for Cleveland, where he does the first half of the season, Kyler Murray comes back, and then he goes ahead and sits for the rest of it as a very serviceable guy. I could see him going somewhere like the Saints, where they need a quarterback who's not going to be the problem, not going to throw the picks. So I can see a lot of avenues for him, but I think the Titans is where I have him right now.
Yeah, I'd be upset if he went to the Saints because I think he's a good enough dude to win you some games.
I think he is too. I love him. I really like the guy. All right, last division here in the AFC. We'll probably be able to fly right through this one, other than, of course, the Ravens, because that's really the one up in the air. All right, Bengals, Joe Burrow. Next. It's going to be Burrow. All right, there we go. All right, so for the Ravens, I have Lamar Jackson staying. I don't know if he really wants to stay. I don't think he really cares. I think he just wants the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Harbaugh has said that he really thinks that he's going to stay. He really thinks that they're going to be able to work out a deal. He really thinks that he's going to be able to stay. Who knows if that's actually going to be possible, but when I think of it, I really don't see a Ravens without Lamar Jackson. I don't know who they would have if not him. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be wrong about this because to get him out of our division would be like 2 or 3 wins a year. Just like, that's just how it is. The Ravens are so good with Lamar Jackson. He's such a good quarterback. So I would not be mad if he didn't return, but I think that he will.
Yeah. And I had Lamar Jackson getting traded to the Falcons. And obviously the Falcons would trade a lot, including this year's first round pick, which is 8th overall. And so if they're sitting there at 8 and some of the quarterbacks are getting picked, they're sitting there at 8 and Anthony Richardson comes to them. And he's very, very similar to Lamar Jackson. He's an elite runner. His throwing, not so much, but he's definitely got to work on that. But he's very, very similar to Lamar Jackson. I think they could draft him and not have to adapt their offense at all. I mean, he's literally, he is Lamar Jackson, but even worse of a passer. I mean, Lamar's already not a great passer, but this guy's really not a good passer. But he's a really good runner.
That's fine. You could just run wildcat every single formation.
Hey, worked for the Ravens like for the last 3 years.
The last 3 years. All right. Browns, Deshaun Watson. He'll be here for the next 10 years. Looking like he's going to win a Super Bowl this year. He's got that dog in him. Got that dog in him. All right. Last team here. Kenny Pickett for the Steelers.
Please clip that, Debbie.
Kenny Pickett for the Steelers. Obviously, no surprise. Who else is going to be their starter? Mitch Trubisky? Didn't think so. Pickett it is.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, obviously. I agree.
Yeah, clearly. All right. So those are our predictions for where we think everyone's going to go, what we think is going to happen. Yeah.
And now, before you leave, we have something informational that you guys might want to know. That is a pro hack. All right, we're gonna teach on the podcast. If you stuck around this long, you get the Debbie treatment this time, which is the ultimate hack at Chipotle. All right, wait.
You notice how we pronounced that last syllable in Chipotle? He's like Chipotle.
Chipotle.
He's like yeah.
All right,
it's got that weird thing.
So we're right there at the basic menu, right?
Online.
Yeah, that's you order online. Right,
Order
so
online,
you go to the tacos.
That's how we
Right.
do it.
Yeah, exactly. Go to the tacos, right? And you want just a snack. Like say this is lunch, right? And you don't want to eat a ton, okay? So instead of getting like a burrito or a bowl, if you want to spend a little bit of money, not very much, just a little bit of money, you get one taco, all right? Now here's what you do. Let's say you get chicken. Even steak. Let's get steak. $3.70. You know, it's not that much. Come on. Let me
No, you
click
can't get steak and chicken.
Oh, I'm trying to just get one, man. All right. Okay.
Why not?
Then
Get both.
you get the
Life's too short.
well, you can get either one. It doesn't matter because this is the small one because it's the one taco. All right, then just get whatever you want, right? If it lets me click it.
Oh, he's getting everything. Oh,
Like you can get a bunch of stuff. Let's say we get rice, all this stuff. Let's have cream, little cheese. Okay, whatever. Take the beans off. Let's get some cheese. Okay. All right. Then you go and you get your tortilla on the side. This is the big tortilla. All right, it's only 50 cents. Now, when you add this to your bag, it's just
you gotta name it.
frick you.
Name it Debbie.
One. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Debbie
it's
can't
gross.
spell.
Debbie can't
There
type.
we go. All right.
Someone who works with the
Bear with
computers
me.
all the time on the
Bear
podcast. I
with
think you'd
me.
be better at typing.
Okay, that was. Okay. Got it. No, please go away. Capital One. I don't want you. Go. Leave.
I
Anyways.
just found 5 codes though, Debbie.
No. Okay. This is your checkout right here. $4.20. $4.20.
Right, but you got a taco.
Yeah, but it's like if you get it. So here's the strat. When you get it, it's for the sides. They have to put it in a container because you want everything on the side.
Container.
I think there's maybe a thing that you put for everything on the side, but they have to put it in a certain cup, and so everything has to be a certain size, and so you end up getting a lot of food for only $4.20. Like it's a surprising amount of food. So if you want to try it out,
put that
test
in the burrito.
Yeah, then you can just fold it in your burrito.
You're just gonna eat the burrito shell.
Well, yeah, then you put it in your burrito because it's literally like $4.20 for like $10 worth at least of food. It's really good. Anyways,
we are
test it out.
We have now transitioned into a eating food restaurant podcast. We are no longer the KNA Football Podcast. We are the KNA
Foodcast.
Food. Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's what we're
so
going.
let us
That's
know.
what we're going with now.
Send us food and we'll sample it.
We'll review your food. Send it in. If you have cookies, I'll sample your cookies. That's fine. All right. So those are our predictions for each NFL team starting quarterbacks for the upcoming 2023 year. Obviously, there's a lot still going on. We have the combine coming up. We have the draft. We have free agency, the entire offseason to go through literally everything. So obviously, there's a lot of room for error. Would you like to say something?
I do. I guys, people listening, I hear you guys. You guys come up to me a lot. Actually, the amount of times I've heard this makes me really happy because I am excited that you guys say this. And you know what I'm saying because I've already told you this. A lot of you guys have came up and said, "Hey, like, what are you guys doing during the off season?" We're like, "Oh, we're finding things. Like, we gotta. It's hard. It's harder for sure because content isn't given to you. You gotta make the content. But they're like, you guys should totally do a March Madness episode, and it's not just like one or two guys. It's people at work. It's people at church. It's people at school. So guys, I haven't talked to Debbie about it, but I've talked to Austin and Margaret about it, and they said they're in. So
what? I did not say those words.
Yes, you did. Margaret is a producer. No, well, yeah, but no, is a
basketball fanatic.
No, the opposite of that. Margaret was there. What's that?
A witness?
Yes, Margaret is a witness to Austin saying that. So,
my goodness.
But yeah, so stay tuned. March Madness is in like 2 weeks, so eventually that episode will be coming out, and it should be fun. A little break from football. Yeah.
Yeah, we can fill out our brackets on air or something.
That'll be fun.
It'll be fine, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably just like pick whichever logo I think looks the best. I don't know anything about college basketball.
You literally told me earlier in the car, you're like, dude, I actually think I'm gonna watch it this year.
I think I will watch this year. I've never watched before. I think I'll probably watch the whole tournament. I'll watch that. I'll watch the Masters this year.
It is the best.
I'll actually watch the stuff
You won't
this year.
regret it. I can tell you that right now.
I'm sure I will.
Oh, Debbie's mad.
Oh no, Debbie, so let's get moving. All right, so if there's any takes in here that you have disagreed with, any quarterbacks that you have going anywhere else, any super spicy takes, go ahead and comment below, DM us, whatever. Let us know if we're wrong. Of course, we won't be because we're guaranteed to be 100% correct all of the time.
As always.
And if you have any ideas for episodes that you'd like to see in the future, go ahead and DM us, comment whatever you'd like to see, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching this episode of KNA Football. You can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and we're also active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you.